The question which we are coming across is define and classify carbohydrates with suitable examples. This is the first section of the question, and remaining section of the question includes note on function of carbohydrates. So first, coming to definition, the definition is very simple. That is, it is a aldehyde, that is CHO group, or a keto derivative C double bond O, which contains polyhydroxy. Means when you see the carbohydrates, you can find many OH groups in the structure. That is the multiple hydroxy groups or polyhydroxy groups. So this is the definition. Next, coming to the classification, which is second major part, the monosaccharides, oligosaccharides and polysaccharides. So it is classified under three headings: mono, oligo and heteropolysaccharides. Monopolysaccharides are further classified into two groups. What are they? Based on functional group. Functional groups are either they are made up of aldose or they are made up of the ketose. I told you CHO group or C double bond O. And you have to also give the example: aldohexoses glucose, ketohexoses fructose. Now monosaccharides can also be classified based on number of carbon atoms. Is it made up of 3 carbon, 4 carbon chain, 5 carbon, 6 carbon chain, etc. and etc. So we can call them as trioses, tetroses, pentoses, hexoses and heptoses. So this is regarding the monosaccharides. Now what about the oligosaccharides? Oligosaccharides are the one when we tell there are more than 2 up to 10 monosaccharide units attached to each other. It can be disaccharides, trisaccharides or tetrasaccharides similarly. And should we stop here? No, we have to give the examples for each. That is disaccharides, maltoses, lactoses and sucroses. Trisaccharides, raphinols and tetrasaccharides, stacchose. Okay, this is under the oligosaccharides. How about the polysaccharides? Polysaccharides, yes. There are two types. Based on what? Based on type of monosaccharides it contains. Okay, type of monosaccharide it contains. Does it contain same type of monosaccharide units or does it contain different types? If it is same type, we call homo. Homo means same. Examples we should give. Yes, definitely we should. So at least we should remember two: starch and glycogen. Easy to remember. Remaining includes dextrin, cellulose and inulin. Next, coming to heteropolysaccharides. Hetero means different. Means what? They are made up of different monosaccharide units attached to each other. Examples include hyaluronic acid, heparin, chondroitin sulfate, dermatin sulfate and keratin sulfate. So these are the classification of the carbohydrates, which is the major chunk of the question. Okay, coming to next, individual one, monosaccharides. What are they? They are simple sugars. They cannot be further hydrolyzed. Then what is the examples? These are the examples we should be able to write. That is glyceraldehyde, erythrose, ribose, simple, easy to remember glucose, galactose as well as fructose. So these are the examples which are given for the monosaccharides, which can be even asked for short answer question. Okay, you can expect for short answer question. Next, we are going to read about oligosaccharides. Oligo, I told you, they are the carbohydrate chain which contains 2 to 10 monosaccharide units. If 2 monosaccharide units are there, we call them as disaccharides. Di means 2, saccharides means sugar. Disaccharides. Examples: maltose. Yum means you can remember like mobile phone. So mobile phone is 2G. Then lactose, which is made up of glucose and galactose. Sucrose. Sucrose is sweet. Sweet, that is glucose plus fructose. It is made up of glucose plus fructose. So this is about the oligosaccharides. Coming to the polysaccharides. I told you, when we call it as polysaccharide, when it is made up of more than 10 simple sugar units attached to each other. Again, this is of two types we discussed: homo means same, hetero means different, homopolysaccharides and heteropolysaccharides. Now you can see here also it is made up of one type of simple sugar. Either it is completely made up of glucose unit, example like starch, glycogen and cellulose. They all are made up of simple sugar. Okay, simple sugar which is the glucose. Now heteropolysaccharides, they are made up of multiple different type of monosaccharide units. They might contain glucose, they might contain galactose, okay, or they might contain mannose. So like that, similarly they are made up of different monomeric units, means multiple or different. So we call them as heteropolysaccharides. Examples: mucopolysaccharides or glycosamine glycans, proteoglycans. So these all are example for the polysaccharides. Again, individually polysaccharide can be a short answer question in the exam. Okay, you should be able to write. Next, what are the functions of carbohydrate? That is the second part of the question. It is energy source. Yes, majorly glucose is the energy source. It is stored, which we have seen glycogen. Okay, glycogen is the storage form. Glycogen, they are building block, invert sugar and medicinal use. Like for example, when a person is hypoglycemic, so you are going to give the glucose as a juice or syrup or through the IV line. Okay, so glucose has a role. So individually if we see functions of carbohydrate, it provides energy, that is the main fuel source when catabolized during the metabolic reactions, which include cellular respiration, and this is the simplest form. It provides energy storage. In plants, it is stored as starch. In humans and other animals, it is stored as glycogen. Which organ stores this? Liver and also muscles. Okay, liver and muscles will store the energy. Structure, yes, it builds the cell wall of many of the animals, and also in case of arthropods, okay, arthropods, it builds up the exoskeleton, the outer layer of the structure, which is majorly called as the chitin. So it is found in even the walls of the fungi, so it helps the structural building. Okay, so these are the different functions of carbohydrate which are very much required. So with this we conclude on the question of carbohydrate classification and also the functions of carbohydrate, which is a major question in the exam. Okay, thank you very much.